Most women over 45 are getting lab work done every single year and still being told everything is normal. But here's the problem: normal does not mean optimum. And if it definitely doesn't mean you're not developing insulin resistance. In fact, I can look at a normal lab panel and tell you exactly why you're struggling with weight, fatigue, and stubborn belly fat. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 lab tests you should be asking your doctor for, what the numbers actually mean, and what to do if they're off. My name is Dr. Tashima Fair, and as an OBGYN, I see this pattern every single day. High achieving women doing everything right, eating better, exercising more, and still not getting the results that they want. Not because they lack discipline. No, 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 no. But because no one is looking at the right data. Stay tuned. Now, let's break down the 3 labs that actually matter. Number 1, and this is the most important, and we talked about it last week: fasting insulin. Not fasting glucose, not your A1C, but your fasting insulin is the number 1. Because insulin is the hormone that determines whether your body stores fat or burns it. And here's the problem: you could have completely normal blood sugar and still have elevated insulin for years. And during that time, your body is in fat storage mode. Okay? Here's why the numbers matter. Now, most labs will say insulin is normal up to around 20 or 25, but that's not optimal. I like to see fasting insulin under 8, ideally closer to 5, okay? Now, if your insulin is 12, 15, 18, you're already in insulin resistance. Even if your doctor says you're fine, okay? And you're wondering, well, why is it happening to me? Well, here's why this is such a problem after 45. As your estrogen starts to decline during perimenopause, your body becomes more insulin resistant. And at the same time, you're losing muscle mass. Cortisol tends to run a little bit higher. Your sleep quality often declines. And all of that makes your body likely to store fat, even if nothing has changed. And if your insulin is elevated, here's where I would start. Prioritize protein. Strength train 2 to 3 times a week. Reduce constant snacking, because the goal is simple: lower insulin so that your body can actually start burning fat again. Second lab, this is number 2, okay? Hemoglobin A1C. Now, this gives you an average blood sugar over the past 2 to 3 months, okay? Now, here is the issue, though. By the time your A1C is elevated, you already had insulin resistance for years, right? Now, most labs would say normal up to 5.6. You're pre-diabetic when it's 5.7 to 6.4, and then after that, you're diabetic. Now, I like to see women under 5.2 to 5.3. Now, if your A1C is 5.5 and creeping up, that's not a green light. That is an early sign, early warning sign, okay? Why does it happen? Well, A1C rises because your body can only compensate for high insulin for so long, and eventually blood sugar starts rising too. And now it shows up here in your A1C. Well, what do we do about it? If your A1C is trending up, cut back on hidden sugars and refined carbs. Improve sleep. This is this is major for blood sugar control. And build muscle because muscle pulls glucose out of the bloodstream. Okay? Number 3. This is one no one talks about at all. Your triglyceride to HDL ratio. Now, what is that? Well, this is one of the simplest ways to assess metabolic health and insulin resistance. And how do you calculate it? You take your triglycerides and divide it by your HDL. Ideally, it's under 2. Concerning is above 3. Here's an example. If your triglycerides are 150 and your HDL is 40, that's a ratio of closer to 4. That is a red flag. Okay? Now, this ratio worsens when your body is overproducing triglycerides, which is driven by excess carbohydrates, insulin resistance, and poor metabolic flexibility. What do we do about it? Well, if the ratio is high, you can reduce processed carbs and sugars, increase your healthy fats like olive oil, and consider time restricted eating. Now, this is actually one of the fastest markers to improve when you fix your metabolism. Here's the real truth, okay? Most women are being told they're fine because the system is designed to diagnose disease. It's not designed to optimize your health. And by the time something is flagged as abnormal, you've already been dealing with the problem for years. Okay? Alright. Now, but knowing these numbers is just the first step. It is just the first step. Fixing them correctly without damaging your metabolism or your hormones, that is a completely different conversation. All right? So here's what I want you to do. Okay? Go pull your most recent lab work and look at these 3 numbers. Fasting insulin if you have one, your A1C, and then your triglycerides and your HDL. Now, if you want help interpreting your labs, drop labs in the comments, okay? Now, in the next video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to start reversing insulin resistance step by step, okay? In the meantime, in between time, stay healthy, stay vibrant, and stay unconventional. Be sure to watch the videos that are coming up next on your screen, and I will see you in the next video.